At the end of a fine dining meal, most people expect dessert to leave a lasting impression. But what about coffee? For years it's been an afterthought until now. The world's best restaurants are redefining coffee, treating it with the same care as their signature dishes. But what's driving the shift, and why is coffee suddenly stealing the spotlight? Let's find out. First, let's start with the basics. Specialty coffee isn't just a fancy term for regular coffee. It's a category, like fine wine or craft beer. The beans are graded on flavor, aroma, and balance. A score of 80 or above on a 100-point scale by Q graders, who are basically certified tasters, is what puts it in the specialty category. So here's the thing though, specialty coffee isn't just about the beans, however, it also involves every touch point from the time it's harvested to the moment it hits your taste buds. This is not about large-scale production, this is a craft. Think of specialty coffee as the VIP section to the coffee world. So why are fancy restaurants suddenly paying so much attention to coffee? Simple. It's another way to improve the overall guest experience and show diners the attention to detail. But don't just believe me. Let's hear what others in the industry have to say.
Yeah. But you're seeing it now in some of the high-end restaurants. They are realizing the last memory someone has of their restaurant is the last thing they consume. Absolutely. And that might be the coffee. And so they are trying to up their coffee game and trying to use quite high-end coffees to reflect the food they've just served you. Yeah. Because if you paid £100 for kind of a three-course meal and then they finish it with very cheap coffee made through a very cheap machine, it will taste like you've had
absolutely
that.
After all, if you just enjoyed a $200 meal, the last thing you want is a bad cup of coffee. For restaurants like the French Laundry or Noma, coffee is treated with no less care than their food or wine. They source beans from the smallest farms, collaborate with expert roasters, and even created their own blends. In fact, the French Laundry owner Thomas Keller has his own coffee subscription. This trend of making coffee a centerpiece during a dining experience isn't entirely new though. When I was in hospitality school almost 30 years ago, I remember performing tableside flambe liqueur coffee service. For those unfamiliar, flambe coffee includes lighting a chosen liqueur on fire, a dramatic way to impress diners. So what's the difference now? Well, what we did years ago was more about the show. But today it's not just about the show, it's also about the tell. And by tell, I mean the story behind the beans. Take a restaurant like Geranium, one of the world's best restaurants in Copenhagen. They've introduced tableside pour-overs, where a barista brews coffee right at your table, using specialty coffee beans to take guests on a coffee journey, and yes, the origin of the beans. This is where it gets fun. Specialty coffee is not just about where it's grown, but also about how it tastes. Depending on the origin of the bean, you might taste notes of chocolate, fruit, and yes, even flowers. Coffee can get that specific. It's like a flavor passport. Your coffee can take you around the world without even leaving your table. And unlike mass market coffee, which is roasted dark, generally to hide the imperfections, specialty coffee is roasted to highlight its natural flavors. And then there's the brewing. Specialty coffee is all about precision. From grind size to water temperature, it's all about the details. Which is why fine dining restaurants are investing in professional equipment and, more importantly, baristas who know how to use it. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great, but why does it matter to me? Well, here's the good news. Specialty coffee isn't just for fancy restaurants or the world's best cafes anymore. Other industries like luxury super yachts and some of the world's finest hotels are realizing how specialty coffee can take coffee to a whole new level. Not just in flavor, but the entire experience. By choosing specialty coffee, you're not just treating yourself to a better cup, you're supporting small farmers who pour care into every bean. Many specialty coffee producers focus on sustainable practices, so your morning ritual is making a positive impact on the environment and also communities around the world. So the next time you're buying coffee, look for a few key details: the origin, roast date, flavor notes. These clues tell you it's quality coffee, not just another bag of mass market beans. So here's the thing. Specialty coffee is not just about being fancier. It's about care for craftsmanship, ingredients, and about the people drinking it. Sometimes it is the little things in life, like a perfect cup of coffee, that make your day. If you found this video helpful or would like to talk more about something else, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.